That man in that gold jacket is Hall of Famer Willie Brown. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being here. You are in for a treat today. Not only will you have an opportunity to go and tour the Hall of Fame and see a lot of the history of the game and the great players that played the game, but more than that, you're going to have an opportunity to have a discussion and ask questions of a Hall of Famer. Willie Brown has come all the way from California to be with us today, and he has some important things that he wants to talk with you about. But as I say, after he makes his remarks, you'll have a chance to ask questions. And the reason that Willie is here and the reason we're having this program, it's an effort to ask young people like yourselves to think about what you would like to do in life. What are your goals? And are you doing all the right things to keep you on track to be able to achieve those goals? So what better way to do that than to have someone here who has done that? Willie Brown, when he was your age, maybe even younger, had goals for his life, and he's going to tell you a little bit about his story, about how he faced adversity and overcame it to rise to the level of success that he achieved in his chosen field of pro football. Now, first, let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Brown. You may know some of this already, but I'll re-emphasize it. He was born in Yazoo City, Mississippi. That's where he grew up. He was a very successful high school athlete and student. He went on to college, where he continued his academic studies and got his graduate degree. I'm sure he'll tell you a little bit about that. But that was at Grambling State University. And as far as football is concerned, when he was on the Grambling State football team, he played for that team every year, all 4 years of his college career. So he obviously was a very good football player, good basketball player, good in track. But when he graduated from college, none of the pro football teams drafted him. And he will explain a little bit about why that happened. But part of it is, at that time in our country, if you were an African-American athlete and you had gone to a predominantly African-American college or university, and your opportunities to go on and play professional football or any professional sport was a lot more limited than it is today. And Willie helped to change that for the benefit of all of you here today. But once he wasn't drafted, he decided that he was still going to pursue his goal. He wasn't going to let that setback cause him to give up. And he decided that he would try to make it into pro football the hard way. That is, being undrafted and go in as a free agent. So he got a tryout with the Houston Oilers. He was a 195-pound defensive cornerback. And he had played end in college, and he converted to cornerback. But before that first camp ended, he was cut from the team. And he'll tell you why that happened. So that's a second setback. Many of us, if we had had those kind of major setbacks as we started to begin our career, we might be very tempted to give up. Not Willie Brown. He didn't give up. He continued to use his talents and to work hard in pursuit of his goals in life and his dream to play professional football. And all that hard work paid off, because midway through his rookie season with the Denver Broncos, he became a starter at the defensive back position. And in his second season with the Denver Broncos, he had a great game against the New York Jets, where he intercepted 4 passes, which tied an all-time pro football record. In that same year, he was named to the AFL All-Star game, and he was actually named the defensive player of that game. In other words, Willie Brown didn't give up, and he proved to the world that he could make it in pro football. In 1967, he was traded to to the Oakland Raiders. And during the next 12 years with the Raiders, he used his speed and his mobility and his aggressiveness and determination and his keen football intelligence to become the leader of the Oakland Raiders defense. He was a key figure in the Raiders' success during those years when his teams played in 3 AFL championship games, 6 AFC championship games, and 2 Super Bowls. During Willie's career, he intercepted 54 passes, which he returned for 472 yards and 2 touchdowns. And you might know, if you know your history of the Oakland Raiders and of Willie Brown, that one of his most famous interceptions was in Super Bowl 11, when he returned an interception 75 yards for a touchdown. That would certainly make today's highlight reel on ESPN. So the bottom line is that Mr. Brown had some difficulties as he began to pursue his career in pro football. He had lots of adversities, lots of obstacles, lots of setbacks, but he persevered. He was a person who was determined, and he ended up having a spectacular career in pro football. For example, he was named to the All-AFC team 4 times. He was named All-League 7 times. He was selected to 5 All-Star games and 4 Pro Bowls. By the end of his 16-year career in pro football, Mr. Brown was widely acclaimed as the premier cornerback in pro football history. Now, when you think about it, to end up at the pinnacle of your profession, to be declared as the best defensive quarterback to ever play that position, and you remember that when he started, he was cut from his first team, and he wasn't even drafted by any team when he came out of college. In recognition of all that Mr. Brown has accomplished in his career, in 1984, he achieved the highest honor that a pro football player can ever receive when he was enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame right here in Canton, Ohio. Now, to show you a little bit of highlights from Mr. Brown's playing career, we'll run a brief video.
Cornerback Willie Brown started his storied career with the New England Patriots. He intercepted an NFL record 4 passes in a single game during his second season. But none were more historic than the one he picked off in Super Bowl 11.
And he looks and throws. Intercepted by the Oakland Raiders. Willie Brown at the 30, 40, 50. He's going all the way. Old man Willie. Touchdown Raiders.
That was great. Now, before Mr. Brown comes up to make a few remarks, I'd like him to know who's in the audience. So I'll call out your school, and feel free to give a little shout. Let Mr. Brown know if you're here. Is there anybody here from Youngstown Christian High School? Okay. I think I heard a couple people there. How about Maslin Washington High School? Maslin is in the house. Campbell Memorial High School. Okay. Anybody here from Crenshaw Middle School? Okay, great. I think that takes care of everyone who's in the house. We have a number of schools that are tied in by video conference, and they'll be able to hear and see us. We have a school from Camden, New Jersey, Pine Point Middle School, and from St. Charles, Michigan, we have Thurston Middle School, and from Hanford, California, we have King Community High School, and from also Hanford, California, we have Martin Luther King High School. Let's give them a round of applause as well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to present to you a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
All right, we're on. A couple of things that I'd like to make correction on. There's one being and also
mind all schools, please mute your microphone, please.
Somebody's got their mic on. Somewhere else.
Schools, please mute your microphone, please.
Willie Brown was the greatest defensive back in National Football League history. But somebody in another school has their mic on.
Schools, please mute your microphones. Somebody has music on.
And you have to go to the back door if you want to get not walking. Now you tell me, what makes the water taste any different? If I drink out of this bottle, take another stick right here, make 2 bottles. So I got 1 drink in this fountain and 1 drink from this fountain. The same water coming out. What's the difference? It's the same water. So why have separate fountains? Why have separate stickers?
Okay, thanks. Sorry, schools. We got that taken care of. We muted that school.
Because they think that you're going to tarnish the water.
They can see you.
For some reason, whatever the reason. But it doesn't make sense, does it? Water comes from the river. Everybody drinks from the river, but you just can't drink at the same time. You got to go on the other side of the river and drink. So things like that. You want to take the bus? You want to ride the bus? You just sit at the back of the bus.
All right, so we're in our
But
presentation.
I remember, I'm going to just go ahead for a second. I recall when
Schools, please remember to
I was at
keep your
Grambling
microphones
University.
muted, please.
My roommate, and my buddy, my teammate from Yazoo City, we caught the bus from Yazoo City going back to Grambling. So we made a stop in Jackson, changed buses in Jackson. So we were waiting on the bus. So the bus came, and we were kind of late getting there.
They can see
The
all
bus
this.
was packed. I mean, just from
Okay.
the middle part all the way back was just packed, right? So we had some open seats in the front. So I'm saying, hey, I told my buddy, Isaiah, I'm not going to sit back there. There's no room back there. So I sat in the third seat from the front.
If you have lunch, you can go. Just walk
Bus
around
driver
the
got
back
it. Hey,
this
you
way.
boys got to move in the back.
The lady who's talking about lunch, please mute your microphone. You're disrupting the program.
Because I'm not moving. So he went inside, got the manager. It's too thorough. He got the manager. Said, you boys got to move in the back. So I said the same thing. I said, I'm not moving. There's not enough seats back there. Why should I move back there? I'm not. So he said, you boys in school? I said, yeah, we're in school. He said, where? I said, I'm in Grambling. So he told the bus driver, he said, hey, let them on the bus. Don't move. Get out of here. Get out of town with them. Get them out of here. So, that's fine with me, But anyway, that's the things that I had to go through when you're growing up during that period of time. If you think about your grandparents, your great-grandparents, things they went through, how they survive all those kinds of things. In Hatcheries, they want to survive. But the thing I remember that you can't let anybody keep you down. You got to have goals. That goal is to be the very best, whatever you do. That was my goal. If I'm going to participate in something, I'm going to be better than you. I'm going to be better. I will be better than you. Why? Because I have that burning desire inside of me to be better. I want to be the best, whatever I'm doing, whatever it may be. I want to be the very best. So you work at it. You spend time at it. You do extra work at it. All those kind of things ties in why you want to be the best. I told the other group earlier about packing parachute. Everybody know what a parachute is, right? You got on your back so you jump in and have a good landing, safe landing. Well, sometimes you think about it, would you trust the person next to you to pack your parachute? You wouldn't trust them? You wouldn't trust the person sitting to your right or left? Pack your parachute. No? Well, I would trust my high school coach. I would trust my mom and dad. I would trust my minister. I would trust the priest. Surely I would trust my teachers. They're not going to tell you anything wrong. Your grandparents, they're not going to tell you anything wrong. And hopefully your buddy and your friends won't tell you anything wrong. But don't be afraid. If he's doing something wrong, you disagree with it, you got to let them know. Let them know it's wrong. Let them understand this is not right. Just because he's your good friend, you're going to lose friendship with him over something that you know is wrong? You're going to go along with him or with her? If it's wrong, it's wrong. That person may be your good friend, but he may hate you, may get mad at you for not agreeing with what he's saying or what he said. But he knows what's right. He also knows what's right. You know what's right. Influence. Packing a parachute means that the person who had influence in your life could be your next door neighbor, could be your minister, could be your brother, could be your sister, grandfather, whoever. That's what packing you, preparing you to meet society, preparing you to be in society, preparing you to be and make a contribution in society. What you gonna make your contribution in? What is gonna be your contribution to society? Think about it. What is your contribution to society? My contribution to you today is coming from California, nice and warm, well, semi-warm now, coming to cold. Wow. I got there last night about 1 o'clock. Man, I got off the plane and walked across that. Boy, it's cold back here. 18 degrees, 15 degrees, whatever it was, cold. But you have to think it in terms of trying to make an impact on other people's lives. You want to be the person that can influence someone. Don't let someone influence you to do something you know is wrong. Packing your parachute. Make decisions for yourself. You make the decision. That's why they have votes. You vote for certain things. You vote for the president. You vote for the whoever, you know. That's how you want to make your contribution to society. Your contribution. What is it that you want to do? You're in the 10th and 11th grade, I believe, right? Some seniors maybe. No? 10th and 11th? What grade are we? 9th? 8th grade? Huh? Somebody say 8th? Okay, 8th. So we got a mixture. My point is this, guys. You know, make a decision now. Start thinking about what you want to do. What is it that you want to be in life? Don't let someone put you in a situation where it's something you don't want to do. You dibble around with certain things, you do certain things, but you want to make sure that you're doing what you want to do. Make a contribution to society. Be the first one to do something in the whole world. So why can't it come from this group right here? Why not? We have a black president. I had no idea that we even thought about even having one 20 years ago. You thought about it, yeah. But would it happen? Probably not in my lifetime. But my mom, she's 98 years old. And I'm just glad she have a chance to live and see the black president. It's important to understand, folks, is that when you have a black president for the first time, it's just like when you have a first black head coach in football, first black in this, first black in that, first black in first. We think in terms of that too often. First black, hey, another man, another lady is contributing. Don't get tied up in the black thing, the white thing. 50 years ago, that's what it used to be, white, black. But we got to change all that. How we change? By being a better human being, making a contribution, discussing, talking about why we do certain things, talk about why this is like that, this is the way it should be. Talk. Excuse me. So what do? You prepare yourself. You prepare yourself to go to college. Everybody in this room should go to college, regardless of money, regardless of whatever way you can get that scholarship, you work your way, whatever you want to do in order to go to college. Doesn't matter what you major in. Does it? Doesn't matter. As long as you get your degree. Business folks, business companies, look and see if you got your degree. They can hire the person with the degree from college faster, quicker than they would a person who gets to have a high school degree. So your parents can afford to send you to college. So what do? You work. They got set up now where you can go to college, you work on campus, you work in the office, and make enough money to pay for your own tuition, pay for your room and board, things like that. Now, if that doesn't work, you can be the smartest kid in school. They give you a scholarship for making A's and B's. They give you a grant. They give you a part of a scholarship. And different companies around will give you part of a scholarship. You don't have to have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 from one particular person. You can get $10,000 from him, $5,000 from you, $2,000, $1,500, whatever. That's what makes up your full scholarship to pay your tuition. But keep in mind that you definitely want to go to school. You definitely want to go to college. You definitely want to make a contribution to society. What is your contribution? What is it? My contribution has been many. In my eyesight, been many. Coming back here talking to you, talking to kids all over everywhere, spreading the word about trying to be a better human being, trying to be a person that can stand up for your own right. You have a right to do this. You have a right to do that. You have a right to say no to certain things. You have a right to say, no, I don't want it, I would not do it. For example, drugs. That's one of the biggest problems in Mexico. One of the biggest problems here in the United States right now is drugs. Drugs. They don't want to control a lot of things in the world. Whether it's cocaine, whether it's marijuana. I didn't hear about marijuana until I was out of college. Hard to believe, huh? Because my life, I'll tell you why, one of the reasons why, because I'm talking about in the 60s and 70s now, because my life wasn't around with other people who use drugs, who know about drugs. They stayed away from me, stayed away from everybody else because they knew I was an athlete, I wanted to play both sports, so they kind of stayed away from me. I had no idea until I came to the pros about marijuana. Now you can walk down the street and see somebody smoking things it's no big deal. But it is a big deal. You know when you hire and get a job with somebody, they're going to test you. They'll test you for drugs, alcohol, things like that. So talk to your friend, talk to your buddy about it. Say, hey, we don't need it. I don't need it. If I went through all those years coming through your age and passing your age and where I am, if I didn't need it, surely you don't need it. Because you had no idea. You have not gone through what I've gone through during my time compared to your time. Make a contribution. Your contribution may be find a way to stop people from bringing it over here from wherever they're bringing it from. Stop people from using it. But talk to your mom and dad. The people you stay with, talk to them about things. Don't just go to your room and shut down and do nothing. Talk to your mom and dad. Talk to them about things in your life. Talk about what you want to do. Talk about how things that they did, how tough they had it. Talk about your friend. Talk about your buddy. I come from a family of 7 boys and two girls, 9 of us. In no way my father during that time could afford to feed, clothe, and all those 9 kids. So I always got a little job every year, every single year, every weekend. Played sports. We played on Friday, Saturday. I got my lawnmower trying to go around cutting somebody's lawn, washing the floors, washing the car, scrubbing windows, whatever. They pay me $5, $10. I'm happy. A pair of jeans cost you a couple of bucks, so I'm good to go. So I give me a couple pair of jeans, I go to work and get another pair of jeans, go get some shoes. But my shoes were so bad, I guess that's why I love shoes so much today. My shoes were so bad, I take newspaper and cardboard, put it at the bottom of it, because the shoes had holes in it. See, y'all know anything about that? Do you? Nope. You see, when you wear your shoes 2 or 3 times, you through with them. You're done with them. You want to go get some new ones. My shoes were so bad, boy. I mean, they look good on top, but when you sit down, get your girlfriend house, you don't want to cross your legs. She see that hole in the... What the... Got a hole in the bottom of it. So you kept your feet on the ground, right? You didn't want to go through it, even when people see it. But I went through things like that. I went through things like you got 2 pairs of pants, got to wash them and wear one today, wash them the next day, keep going, rotating and things like that. Now, the Hall of Fame gave me this jacket, and I love this jacket. All the guys in the Hall of Fame, they have a jacket like this, and I think it's great. But my point is this: make decisions, make good decisions, have goals, be accountable, be responsible. If you do it, it's your responsibility to fess up. Say, it's my fault. It's not his fault. It's not her fault. It was on me. I did it. You with me on that? Everybody with me? Yeah, okay. Can I get a witness? Yeah. Okay. But that's the way society is, you guys and young ladies, is that you have to make a difference. The same thing with a football team. You bring players in, you let players go. You bring those players in, hopefully they can contribute, hopefully that they can pick up the slack, hopefully you add those players to your team in order to win a championship. In order to win a championship. Same way you have confidence in yourself. Oh, that's $1. That's $1. I owe somebody $1 because my phone rang. It shouldn't ring. But that's what we do in the pros and with the team. I'm still with the team, so anybody's phone go off, I make them pay $100 up. And boy, you used to see them scrambling. So where was I? Contribution, contributing, responsibility. Responsibility. It is your responsibility to do whatever your parents, whatever your mom, your dad, cousin want you to do. Oh, I got to go. Okay. Got me off track for a minute because my phone used to be on. I know. I talked to my wife, forgot to cut it off. So I blame her. But do this for me. Let's commit. Let all of us commit yourself to make this world a better place and make this city where you live and the school a better place, because you're in charge of the school. Usually football players, when I was growing up, they control the school. Had the pretty girls, best in the classroom, best on the field, best whatever they do. Football players, football, not basketball, although I played basketball a little weak. They're a little weak. Okay. And next it would be track. Track is kind of shaky, but I did all those sports. But let me tell you this: football players, you have to make decisions. You run the school. Let your principal be able to count on you to run things. Be able to have you as one of the guys that you know that you can get things straight. You make decisions, but you can't be out there doing things that is crazy when you're being responsible for all your classmates, all your teammates, all your friends at school. Can you? You got to walk the hall and say, "Hey, man, you should be in class." That's not right. You go to a party, somebody giving a party, you think you have to drink? Think you have to use drugs? You don't have to. Just say no. Tell them, "Hey, man, this is not me. I'm changing. I don't want that. I don't need it." Mr. Willie Brown said, "I don't need it. I don't need it." See what I'm saying? But I knew coming up that, like I said earlier, that about marijuana. Had no idea about it until my first year in pro ball. And I learned, my experience was that went to a friend's house and with one of my teammates, and they had these brownies. So I love brownies. I'm eating brownies and eating brownies, and wait a minute. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, I'm laughing, giggling, he's laughing, giggling. Hey, wait a minute, something not right with these brownies, man. So this friend, she started laughing. She said, "I just gave you guys that, just messed with you." So boy, I was laughing and grinning all the way home. So that's what stopped me. That's what I learned about marijuana. So my point is that after that, no, I'm done with it. So my challenge, my point is to you is this, guys. Find a way to make a difference in society. And you got time. You got time. Make a decision. Help others. Be responsible. When I came into pro ball, I was released by the Houston Oilers, and I was released because they had 3 black guys on the team. Now you got to understand, way back in the 40s, they had no blacks on the team. 50s, they had 3 or 4 blacks on the team. Early 60s, they had more, 7, whatever, in the 60s, late 60s. Do you know that Bobby Mitchell was the first black football player to play for the Washington Redskins? Nation capital, right? Washington, D.C. had no blacks until they got Bobby Mitchell. You heard of Jim Brown, right? Some of you. They traded Bobby Mitchell from Cleveland and traded him to the Washington Redskins. First one. Something else, isn't it? So when I came in, signed with the Houston Oilers as a free agent, there was 2 on the team, 2 blacks. This is the American Football League. It's 2 leagues during that time. But in the National Football League, the whole league, not the American, but the whole league, the National Football League, they only have about 5 players in the whole league on the team. 5. I came to the Houston Oilers, they had 2, and I was the 3rd one. Right out of college, never played defensive back. So I had to learn on the run. But everybody was saying this with the Houston Oilers when I signed. They were saying that, well, you know you're going to get released, you're going to get cut and let go because there's 3 blacks on the team. And they can't have that. Got to be 2, got to be 3 or 4. Got to be 4 or 2. For the simple reason you had to have a roommate. So they didn't want to have me on the team because I'll be single, you know. I can't have a room by myself. Then they're going to put a white guy with me. So they cut me, released me, and let me go. But I was fired up and mad and disgusted because I knew I was better than any defensive back they had on the team. But they refused to let me play. They cut me. So I was disgusted. When I left the Houston Oilers, I went home, and so I got a phone call. My dad told me that the Denver Broncos called me, wanted me to come there. So I said, you know what? I'm not going out, you know, because I seen what happened in the league. I seen players get cut, knowing that how much better they were, you know, compared with other ball players on the team. And they cut me, released me, and I seen it happen so many times with other guys. I said, no, it's too prejudiced. I don't want no part of it. So he convinced me to do it. So I left, went to Denver, but I was on a mission. I had fire in my eyes, burning there. I mean, just every day want to just beat up something, just show how good I am. So I got to Denver, bump and run. You don't know the story, but I was one that started the bump and run. So I got to Denver and was beating up all the receivers. The receivers could not get by me. When they tried to go around, I knock them out. So they tried to go around all of this, so I just got on them tight, bam, shut them down. Everybody know what bump and run is, yes? You girls know? Don't know what bump and run? Okay, I'll show you. I can't demonstrate to you girls, but I'm going to demonstrate. Come on. Okay? What's your name? Name? Jay Reese. Okay, JD, come over here. Okay. All right. Hey, he's a wide receiver, okay? Jay, just turn this way, okay. He's a wide receiver. He's going to try to get by me. So, wait, hold on now, Jay. Hold on, Jay, not yet. So when I say go, you just let him know to go. All right, yeah. So a bump and run is when you're tight on the receiver like this. That's called bump and run. You try to bump him and stop him from going off the line, right? That's what bump and run is. Back here is playing off. So majority of the players in the league was playing off when I came in. So being not a defensive back coming out of college, I decided to come up and play closer. Because if I got my hands, she's pretty good hand, big hands, huh? So if I got my hands on him, I knew that he couldn't get around me. So I tried it. So now you tell him to try to go around me. Whenever you want to go. See, I got him. Got him right there. You feel him good? Yeah. Okay. So when he tried to juke me, try to go this way, I step in front, try to go back this way, I go back here. That's what bump and run. So I'm shallowing him, stopping from going off the line, and that's what I tried to do by inventing this technique to show all the players. Okay? Thanks, Jay. Thank you. So, again, out on a mission. I got let go. I got let go by the Houston Oilers, went to Denver and started all this, and everything happened from there. I went to the Raiders, of course, made all pro there and Pro Bowls and all that kind of stuff. So, but I wanted to make something different. So what is it? I made a difference. Now you see this, you see these young guys playing every day, every Sunday now. You see, when they play tight girls, you know that's called bump and run, and Willie Brown started there, okay? So you know. All right? Okay. My girls, I have 2 girls and then a son. My girls, they went to Grambling University also. It's a good school. I'm starting recruiting a little bit from Grambling. Check it out. You may want to go to Grambling. You may want to learn something there, coming out of there. But what is it that you can do to make this world a better place? What is it that you can do? What contribution are you going to make in terms of helping others, in terms of keeping your life straight? And I tell you this, I talk to my kids about drugs and things, and I'm going to go back for a moment, because what are you going to tell your kids when you have them? What are you going to tell them about drugs? That you use it? Or your friends use it? You got to think about that. Things that you do now is going to be a reflection of how things in your next generation, how your kids are going to be. Think about it. You want your kids to be an alcoholic? You want them to be a drug user? Probably not. Unless you change your lifestyle, that's where you're going to end up. Majority of alcoholic people that I've been around, the alcoholic who really drinks, once you get married, have kids, chances are they're going to be an alcoholic. Think about it. If I had used alcohol growing up, in college, got married, still using, drinking, became an alcoholic, my kids today would have been probably alcoholic. It's easy, just that fast. Do you want to take that chance to do that, to grow up to be that? Do you want your kids, your son or your daughter, to be an alcoholic or be a drug user? Now, I don't know your background or your family, but if you have a member of your family involved in anything with alcohol or drugs, they need help. Help them out. Talk to them. Let them know how you feel about it. Make them a better person, and I guarantee you, they probably would stop if it's coming from you. I've seen kids that growing up, their mom and dad wasn't around. Wasn't around. Let me tell you guys something. If you have kids, you have a baby, that is your responsibility to take care of them. You guys. It is your responsibility. It's not the girl's responsibility. Well, it's part of her responsibility, raising them, but it's coming from you. And today, what bothered me today about pro athletes is this. They go out and have all these babies by different girls. One here, one there, one there, one there, one there, whatever. And they don't take care of them. Don't take care of them. That is your responsibility as a football player, as whatever, sports guy, whatever. It is your responsibility to be responsible for that child. And again, I looked at, I'm staying with the Oakland Raiders. So I looked at this catalog, this book. Do you know, I told the guy, I say, now listen to this, 98% of the black players coming out of college want to play pro ball, don't even know they dead. Don't even know them. Have not been around them. Or their father not in their life. 98%. Their father is not in their life. Can you imagine? This is 98% of the black players. That's ridiculous. It's a shame that they are not responsible enough to know and take care of their child. Now, I tell you this, another change is this. They have not been in their life all their years. All of a sudden, he signed a contract to play pro ball. What happened? Now he want to come in his life because he got all this money, some money, whatever. They want to come back in their life because he thinks that he's going to get some of the money for being his dad. But that's something that really gets bothered me every single day, is that a guy does not take care of his responsibility, does not take care of his kids, does not take care of his baby. He let the girl try to do it by herself. Can't have him, guys. That is your responsibility. So, meaning this, don't have babies until you get married. You're going to be together. Stay together. That's the key right there. That's the big key. So anyway, that's my lesson on responsibility for the guys and babies and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, I love kids. I love to adapt. All my kids, they're gone. They're gone. You know, they finished college and they got jobs, and two of them got kids and that kind of. But I don't see them that often. But I love to adopt a 2 or 3 year old. Drive me crazy for a couple of years probably, but it's good because I love kids. All right. Anyway, so I went through things like that, and players going through things like that. But we got to change that. We got to change the cycle. I know that 50, 60 years ago. Yeah, 50, 60 years ago. Your grandparents. I'm talking to the white kids now. Talk to the white kids for a minute. 60, 150 years ago, your great-great-great-grandfather told his grandson and his grandson and his son about the blacks. So they started stereotyping. They started saying, black and this, white is this. So that's what happened. That is a carryover, which shouldn't be today. There's a carryover of things they had taught the white kids. That's why they had the KKK, right? Because it went down generation through generation. They had little babies out there wearing hoods and all those kind of things. Little babies. It's true. They had dogs out there. They started like this. So they kept that going for a long time. Now they finally broke it, but that's what happened. That's why society is, until we change it, don't look at the color of a person's skin. Look at his heart. Don't look at the color. You have just as many smart black kids you have white kids. But you got to be willing to pay the price to be smart, to understand what it takes. I understood. I understood a long time ago. Hopefully that you can get it right away. Is it going to be all fair and square? Is there some hatred still in the world today about blacks, about white? Yeah, there is. But unless you change it, then that's what the change is going to be. To make a difference. Change it. Don't look at the color of his skin. Look at the friend. That is, shh. You know what? They just tore it up. I'm going to cut it off now. Ain't be no more dollars. God almighty. I apologize for that. That should never happen. I'm trying. My wife teased me about my phone. Old school. But anyway, how we doing? See, we okay? Okay. All right. But anyway, guys and girls, let me just tell you this. I feel so obligated to spread the word about how to, help others, how to help young kids, how to be a better person. Be a better person. Be able to contribute something back to society. That's all I wanted. That's what you should shoot for. What is it that you're going to do to make this world a better place? I just told all the group earlier that we are black president elected for the second time. I was just glad to be alive, see it happen. My mother's 98 years old, and she lived to see our black president. That's important. That was important. One of the most important things happened in 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, I guess, is having a black president. That's showing society is what? That's showing us all that you can be whatever you want to be. Don't judge my color. Look at me. I can do this. I can be the president of the United States. I don't have to be black. I don't have to be white. I could be a human being. I could be a person that you trust to run this country. So that's what happened. That's what happened. Find something that you trust in. Find something that you believe and help others become your way. Be the leader. Don't be a follower. Just because he's going down the street, he's going in the wrong direction. You don't have to follow him. You know he's going wrong. Stay straight ahead. Okay? All right, we're going to open up for questions, and some of the things that in your question, we'll give you some answers to some of the things that I did not talk about, I hope. Okay, here we go.
Questions.
There you go, behind you.
Right behind you.
Gotcha.
Got to stand up.
Stand up.
Let's stand up and talk.
My first question is, where that college located at? The college you went to?
Okay, the college that I went to?
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's Grambling University in Louisiana. Famous coach that won more. My college coach won more games than any coach that ever coached football. Eddie Robinson. And in Louisiana, it's in northern Louisiana. It's about Shreveport and Monroe, Louisiana. Okay? Way on the other side. Hold up there, young fella. You're going to get You girls get ready for some questions now. You got to get ready.
My man Nathaniel Tarver said he about to be the better corner than you. Stand up, man. You think that's possible?
I'm going to be the next Willie Brown. That's me right here. Remember my face.
Well, it's good to think big. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And there's a possibility that you could be. You know? But you got a lot of work to do. You got to grow a little bit more, a little bit taller. Then I think you're going to be okay. You're young enough where you're going to get bigger, you know. But now's the time that you really start concentrating and working at it. If you want to be the best, you want to be like Willie Brown and all that stuff, you know, you gotta work at it, man. Okay? Yes.
What made you want to play football? Like, what encouraged you? What made you want to play football?
Okay, all right. That's a good question. What made me want to play football? Well, I told you earlier I got 6 brothers, and 3 of them ahead of me. They was playing football and playing sports, so There's not much to do in Mississippi on a daily type of thing. So you gave me something to do by playing football. It's just like after school, you go to the Y, you go to the Boys and Girls Club, something to do, after school. And I chose to play sports after school. Okay, to answer your question, young man? Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How long did you have to train a day just to compete with other players in your league? Like, how much commitment did you have to put into it? Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll tell you this. Right now they have 53, 54 players on the team today. During my early year, when I came in the league, there was only 33. So you compete against 33 other ball players in order to make the club. But they changed that to 33 to 38, 40, and they would start changing that when they started the American Football League and the National Football League. All right, but it's pretty hard when you get only that many players on the team.
Well, we have a question. I want to get a question in from the audience on the teleconference. It's really two questions. One was, when you were my age, who inspired you? And the second part of their question is, did you have a player that you wanted to be like? But who inspired you, and was there a player that you wanted to be like?
I said earlier, I think that my high school coach, Peter Boston, it really inspired me to stick with football. And, that's where I got it from, Another question was football player? Right. Is there a football player I wanted to be like? Yeah, Roosevelt Taylor. He's from Grambling. He played with the Chicago Bears. Because he was a defensive back, I wanted to be like him, play like him. I even wore 24 like him. So Roosevelt. And other guy was called Lenny Moore. Lenny Moore played for the Baltimore Colts. I really admired him. Okay? Yes. Oh, here we go. Got some girls coming up.
What was your best moment in the NFL other than the exception at the Super Bowl 11?
Well, that was pretty good there. Intercepted the ball, running back 75 yards. But there are other games that led up to that I really like. But when you intercept or score a touchdown in the Super Bowl, that's big. The chance of winning the football game usually happens if you can do that. Okay? All right?
When you played DN, how many sacks you had?
Say it again?
You played DN. How many sacks you had?
In college?
Yeah.
I didn't keep up with how many sacks that I got in college. But I tell you this, when I was in high school, I played defensive end. I scored 10 and 11 touchdowns on defense. Every year. Because if you can score that many touchdowns, hey. If you score that many touchdowns on defense, you have a pretty good team. So, I had a lot of help from my teammates and all, but, my junior and senior year, I scored 10 and 11 touchdowns on defense every year. Because you understand,
the conference is about to end.
They couldn't catch me. I was quicker than they were, shaking, kind of thing. Yes.
Mr. Brown, other than Everson Walls, who was another great cornerback at Grambling after you, who was some of your favorite guys, like as today or even after you, that you like their bump and run style?
Okay. Well, one of the best guys I think who ever played behind me, who I coached, was Charles Woodson. You guys know Charles? Okay, well, I coached Charles right out of college. You guys know Nundy Asamoah? Okay, I coached him also. You know Mike Haynes, Lester Hayes? Coached them. Terry McDaniel? Coached them. So those kind of guys. Now, today's probably Champ Bailey, one of the top guys today. I say probably. what? Probably one of the best. Champ been around a long time. He played in the Pro Bowl, those kind of things. So he and Oswald, probably the best guys today. Okay? Right here.
Here. Out of your whole season, how many stuff like that?
Okay, I only played in the pros. Well, college I played 2 positions, but in the pros, I only played 1 position. That was a defensive back. It's not too often that you play more than 1 position in the pros. The guys, they play 1 position, that's it. Now, you may do other things. You may move from a corner to a safety in a game or something, but for a guy who's changed position, not too often. Sometimes you have a receiver playing a defensive back, or a defensive back trying to play receiver. But other than that, that's about it. Yes?
What made your career take off?
What made my career take off?
What do you think made your career take off?
Okay. I think with the invention of playing corner, playing defensive back and bump and run, because other teams had not seen that before, by me getting that into play and using it, I think that's what got me started and got my career going. For the simple reason also that they had all the coaches on the other team, they wanted me to train their defensive back. I refused to do it, but I kind of helped certain guys during the off season, but other than that, I didn't want them to know too much about how to do certain things. Okay? Yes, ma'am? Here we go.
Were you injured at all in your career?
Was that what?
Were you injured at all?
Yeah, okay. Good question. Yeah, I separated my shoulder. Intercepted the ball against Denver, caught the ball, fell, and gets rolled over it and gets ripped it out and separated. So that and a couple of knees and hamstring. I had 2 broken wrists. I kept playing though. 2 broken wrists with casts on both of them, and my thumbs, jam my fingers, things like that. But nothing to the point where I was, in the career type of thing. Yes, ma'am. Wait a minute. Hold on.
You use that stickum stuff on your hands when you play?
Yeah, that question as early as today. Yeah, did I use stickum stuff? It's like gooey stuff. Put it in your hand, rub so it make the ball stick to your hand. Yeah, I did. I used it. Somebody had a question. I didn't know.
Willie, there's another question.
Okay.
From
Go ahead.
Conference, and that is, how would you compare the NFL today versus the NFL back when you played, and are the changes today good or bad?
Well, I think that the big difference from when I played and today is that we had more freedom to roam, to do certain things because we didn't have all the rules, and the defense was ahead of the offense. First, being able to stop them. So fans want to see points scored. They want to see a lot of points, on the board and things like that. So, and I think that's one of the big difference. Big difference also today is that you can't hit the quarterback. You can't, got to leave him alone. You can't hit a guy downfield. But during my time, you can hit a guy anywhere as long as the ball's not in the air. So which was unique, which was good. But today it's for the best, the way things has happened today, because you have less injuries. You have guys who's playing quite well, who's playing somewhat longer now, because they're not threatened by all the rule changes. But the rules is good. The rules is for the better because of they want to see more points being scored. Okay. Right here.
Was it hard playing being an African American?
Yes, it was hard because I said earlier is that you only had 1 or 2 guys one or two black guys on the team, back in the day. When you go to a stadium and you hear people yelling at you, cussing at you, throwing stuff at you, and those kind of things, it's tough. It's tough to play under those kind of conditions. So, but what do? You stay with it, trust your instinct, trust your teammates, and just go ahead. Keep going straight ahead. And just believe that everything will work out sooner or later. Okay?
Yes, I want to know who's the best receiver you ever played against?
Okay. I tend to name the guys who was in the Hall of Fame. Whoever those guys in the Hall of Fame, they're the best. No question about it. So take Paul Warfield, Charlie Taylor, Charlie Jordan, Don Maynard, Lance Allworth. All those guys, to me, they're the best. Okay? Because they are in the Hall of Fame. Yes, sir.
I got another. You said it was on.
I said right here.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay. Were you upset that they moved you from defensive lineman to defensive back? How did you feel about that?
Okay, no, I wasn't upset because I was kind of light for a defensive end in the pros. So, but I knew, I ran track at Grambling. I knew I had the speed to play defensive back because I was faster than anybody on the team. So it was easy for me to go from tight end, defensive end in college to the defensive back in the pros because I had all the right ingredients to do it. It's like you're going to make some soup. You're making soup, so you got all the ingredients. You got carrots, you got lettuce, you got this, and you got that. You got meat and all the stuff to mix it up and make a good soup, right? So I had all the ingredients to be a good soup. It's pretty good. I didn't use that before, but that's pretty good, huh?
I have another
Making
question
good
for you,
soup.
Willie.
Okay.
You talked a lot about football, of course, but you also talked about the importance of education. Would you tell the students about your own education, including your graduate degrees, and what you would have done if you had not become a football player?
Right. I was the vice president of my class in high school. In my senior year, I was the president of my class. When I went to Grambling University, I was the president of the freshman class at Grambling University. I knew that in order for me to stay ahead and want to be the leader, I knew I had to work at it. For the simple reason, I wanted to be the guy. I always wanted to be the guy. If there you need some responsibility, you need somebody to tell you what's right, tell you what's wrong. I want to be that particular guy to do it. And that's the way life was with me all throughout my life. And then when I went on and got my college degree, I worked at it. I wasn't, well, let me back up. When I was in third grade, fourth grade, I hated school. Nothing, I just hated. Because I didn't have the proper clothes. I didn't have proper shoes, to wear. And I guess I was embarrassed. So I guess that's why I love shoes so much today is because I didn't have that many shoes. My shoes were so bad, I had to take cardboard and put it in the bottom of the shoe. Keep my feet from that. You laugh. That's the truth. I didn't have any shoes except, the top the top of them look really nice. But you don't cross your legs when you go see your girlfriend because she say, boy, I got holes in his shoe. So, but that's why I did that because of the way society is, the way it was. So I went on to college, got my degree, and then from that, it doesn't matter what you major in. It's all about getting your degree. So from there, I finished at Grambling, and probably 10 years ago now, maybe 15, maybe longer than that, 15 years or 20 years ago now, I went back to school and got my master's degree from Long Beach State, which was in California also. So I knew the importance of an education way back when because of my high school coach. I wanted to be a high school coach. I want to be just like my high school coach. I want to walk like him, talk like him, eat like him, everything that he did. I want to be like him. Also, my father, I want to be like him. So I knew that going and getting a degree means so much more by not getting a degree. Having a college degree can open many doors. But just having a high school door, it gets you a little peek in. Tough to get in what gets the high school degree. You don't finish high school. So it's very important to get your degree in whatever. It doesn't matter what you get it in. Because when you go to work for a company, they're going to train you anyway. But just knowing that you got the degree will get you that much farther and faster. Okay? Yes.
I have two questions. Yeah, okay. I have two questions. What's your best 40 time, and how do you feel about that immaculate reception?
Okay. My 40 time was fast as it was so fast they don't even know the time. And they had the clock like this. They had the clock say, okay, well, it go. And so when they got 2 or 3 guys timing me, they look say, oh, we don't know. Meaning 4, they don't know the rest of it. So, but I ran as fast as I had to. If a guy running down the field and I need to cover him, I was there. If I had to go catch a guy, I can catch him. So probably if you come out and say what it was, I would say probably 4.4. Probably my best was 4.4. But if I need to run a 4.3, I run a 4.3. See, so 4.3 was good. Now, talk about the immaculate reception. Jack Tatum did not hit the ball. The ball hit Franco Fuqua, bounced off of him. The ball hit the ground. Franco was so doing nothing but being lazy. Shouldn't have been there. He caught the ball and he ran it for a touchdown, and they won a championship. So, understand this, girls. Some of you don't understand what I'm saying there. It's Greek to you. Offensive player cannot hit him and there was another offensive player catching the ball. So got to be somebody in between before offense can catch the ball. So if I throw it to her, she on offense and she's on offense. If she missed the ball, she tipped it and hit it, and she catch it, that's no good. Okay? So, but if I come in, she hit the ball, and I hit it, and then she catch it, that's okay. So that's what's happened in Pittsburgh when we played for the championship. They cheated. They lied. But what happened also is this. They came out and made a statement saying that that the referee, when he made that call, what happened? He went and asked, how many police and how much security do you have around the stadium? So they said, well, you're safe. Before he made that call, he wanted to know about his referee, would it be okay about making the call? So he said, touchdown. That's what happened. True story. Okay. Question. We got time? Okay. There you go. Stand up, please. Thank you.
Hi. Did you try to encourage your kids to become professional athletes like you, or did you want them to focus more on school?
Okay. No, I kind of let them go their own way. If they want to play, let them play. If they don't, they don't. My son played football through high school and through college and all. My girls, they didn't play in college. They just played in high school. Played high school and they didn't play in college or anything. They could have. They chose not to. One of the best experiences I had and where I really learned that I want to be a coach when I was playing, my 2 girls was on a softball team, like one's in the 7th grade, one in the 8th grade. So they didn't have a coach. But the school, it was Catholic school. So they wanted me to come out and coach them, right? Boy, let me tell you, that's a treaty within itself. You coaching some 8th graders and 7th grade girls about playing softball. So they couldn't throw from here to their wall. So they had to relay the ball to them. So you got to throw it to her, and then she can throw it over there. That's when you really find if you want to be a coach, go coach some girls' high school, junior high, Pee Wee or something. That's when you really become a good coach or a bad coach. You get out of it. Okay, question.
I got 2 questions.
Go ahead.
What's your favorite team? Back up. What's your favorite team today?
Oh, favorite team today? The Raiders, of course.
They're pretty bad. But,
yeah.
Did you have a touchdown dance?
No. No, I didn't. But the team's so parallel today that's why you see so many different teams going in the Super Bowl, playing the Super Bowl, playing in the championship, playing in playoff game, because the balance of teams now, balance of players now. You got a lot of opportunity. Anybody can come and win the Super Bowl nowadays because the even is spread out, for its players wise. Yes.
Being African American, how were you treated by your teammates?
I get to say again.
Being African American, how were you treated by your teammates?
Okay, yeah, it's different when and I go back to the Houston Oilers, for example, when I first started. The players treat each other fine. The players, football players, sports guys, all they want to do is play. They don't look at the color. They don't care about color, this and that. Matter of fact, when the San Diego Chargers were playing the Houston Oilers in Houston, Texas, the San Diego Chargers, they took their ball players the night before the game. They took them to a movie. Okay, they took them to a movie, and to the movie they didn't want the blacks to come in. So what happened? All the players got together and they walked out, white players and all. Same thing that happened to me in my situation in 1966, 65, I guess it was. We played an All-Star game in New Orleans, Louisiana. In New Orleans, and they didn't treat black players the way they should have been treated. They want to send them around to the back. They want to take the other elevator. They couldn't get a cab. I mean, things like that happen in New Orleans. Now, this is pro football team players coming to play ball. So we had a meeting not to play the game. So the white ball players came down and they agreed. They treated it like this. No, we're not going to play the game. So then we didn't play the game. So they moved the game from New Orleans to Houston, Texas, and that's when Steve would tell you about I was the MVP of the game. So how was I treated? It wasn't good because I had so much confidence in myself, and I guess about doing things, and I guess it's so unfair. But you learn, you go through things like that, and hopefully that the young people today, you guys your age, can understand what we went through, and make things better, keep things better. Okay. Question. All right, I got a couple. And let's see, and I did this early group. I'm going to ask, this is the girls' question first. You know where I went to school, right? Everybody know where I went to school, Grambling University, right? What was the school color? Which one? What color? Girls. Girls, are you a little girl now, huh? Where's that little girl? Stand up, that little girl. He's hiding. Okay. All right, that question's out.
There's a hand in the back.
Hands in the back, yes. You're right. Come on up here for a minute. I'm going to let you. Come on up. I'm going to let you. I'm going to let you put on my Super Bowl ring. And you can walk back there, show it to them, but keep your doors closed. Go back there, show it to your friends. Okay. I got a question for the guys.
And they get to wear your...
They get to wear my...
Hall of Fame
ring, okay. All right, let's see. What, I think I said this earlier. What What was the name of my college coach? Huh? Somebody got over here. All right, come on. He got it. He got it. Eddie Robinson. Let me see that walk again. There you go. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Now we want to make sure those rings get returned before this is all over.
I got my eyes on them. That's why I say lock the doors.
Well, let me just say, what we wanted to do today, I think, has happened perfectly well. First of all, we want you guys to come here to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and have some fun. You've already had some fun with Mr. Brown, and you're going to have some more fun when you get to tour the building. The other thing we wanted you to do is to have the opportunity to learn some lessons that might help you in your life and in your career. We learned a lot of lessons today, I think. A couple I want to remind you about. One is that we live in a society today that is much better than the society in America when Willie Brown was your age. And it's important to recognize that he was one of the people who helped to make that change so that all of us have a better society to live in today. And the second thing I want to remind you about in the way of a lesson that Mr. Brown has been teaching us, and that is that each of you can do the same thing he did. That is, at your age, and he was your age at one time, you can decide to set challenging goals for yourself. You can decide to do the right thing. You can decide to be a person of good character. And when you do that, you will, just like Willie did, you will be making your home and your life a better place. You'll be making your community a better place. You'll be making our society a better place. So those are the lessons that Willie talked about today. I think he did a fantastic job. Let's give Mr. Brown a big round of applause. And I'm sure Willie will be happy to take a picture with you or sign an autograph. And then, of course, you get to enjoy the Hall of Fame. So thanks for being